And as I've mentioned before, looking at pre-competitive research, it extends that concept into something novel, the collaborative exploitation of compound collections in a screening consortium. That brings me to the architecture. We have heard in the morning sessions already many different questions regarding what is the size of the or the number of parties you need to have in a consortium. I would give you this bird view again on the lead factory, a concept which is basically a concept that has two shells. Yeah? You have on the one hand side at the very core the European lead factory, which is a technology platform. Yeah? And the European lead factory, so those are the consortia, the beneficiaries later on for this IMI program. Just think of it in a contractual framework. If we intend to come up with 120 public projects over the 5 years, and would do that already in a consortium, that would mean 120 additional parties sitting in the negotiations for coming up with a grant agreement. This is basically impossible to do. Yeah? So that's why we needed to construct this proposal in two shells, the platform, the European lead factory in its inner core. And of course we are looking, and that's an offer and an invitation to everyone on the outside in the academic arena. We are looking for ideas on drug discovery, assays, targets, pathways. Yeah? On the one hand side, we are looking on the chemistry side for innovative ideas, generating and designing compound libraries for the future use in screening. Yeah? So there are plenty of opportunities for academic and public partners to participate, even though they might not necessarily be in that inner core of the lead factory, in that participating in providing the technology platform to bring that to life. Yeah. So this is also something I would assume is very obvious to everyone familiar with the field of high throughput screening. These are the expected contributions from the applicants. We are talking now about the applicants for the European lead factory. Yeah, what we are looking for to establish these platforms are aspects and resources, human resources as well as hardware resources, expertise that is all around for the screening part on compound logistic on the one hand side, on assay development, as I've mentioned before, high throughput screening. We have heard today a very strong advertisement for SMEs, how good they are in doing that, and I agree. Yeah. Hit characterization, medicinal chemistry, follow-up studies, data management and analysis, and of course, framing all that, a project management. And down there behind the green arrow, we have, oops, that's completely wrong, we have to go this way. We have the ambitious goals. 48 projects each year. Yeah. Wrong button. Completely wrong. Have to go forward. Here we go. 24 public projects per year being mirrored by 24 projects that are run by the EFPIA participants. They will be run separately in their own shops. We will merge the data later on together to generate that broad database that I've talked about. So that is quite an ambitious number, thinking also of the size of the library behind that. For the library topic, library generation, it's also quite obvious that you need the expertise, resources in high throughput chemistry, in compound library design, in chemoinformatics, as well as project management in the end. And as I've mentioned also earlier, also this program is very ambitious. Our goal is to come up with 200,000 novel compounds during the funding period. And even more ambitious, we want to try to have at least 100,000 of them available within the first 3 years to have an impact also on the early screening process. Looking at the size and complexity of that entire proposal, we thought it would be meaningful to separate the two topics here and to give the applicants the possibility to apply for either the screening or the library generation topic independently. Yeah? These groups will later on merge together with the EFPIA consortium to then come up with the full project proposal and to build one consortium that is the European lead factory in the very end. I've talked about a little what we expect now from the applicants. Of course, there are also expectations from the EFPIA side. What is EFPIA providing and contributing into the European lead factory? So most of all, it's a chemistry-driven approach. We need compounds. Yeah? So our goal here is that each EFPIA participant will contribute 50,000 compounds, which then translate in being eligible to perform 4 projects each year in that context. EFPIA will also contribute to the body of data that we generate in the course of the project. As we have seen, 24 public projects being performed basically in the screening center. EFPIA will contribute an equal number being performed in their own shops. We will provide later on the entire data set on qualified hits, assay descriptions, to really generate over that funding period a wealth of highly curated and quality data. We will supplement at all the process steps that are involved in this ambitious program. We will give our expertise there. We will provide the know-how that is relevant to this process and that is coming in many cases from industry side, that is relevant to the review and selection process when we are talking about both the chemical library generation as well as the generation of project proposals for high throughput screening. Expertise, know-how, also in supporting the efficient project realization. As we have learned, we need that operational efficiency that you typically see in either SMEs or industrial environments to realize the ambitious quantitative goal that we set forth in the European lead factory concept. What's in it for you? I've separated here academia and SMEs. You do not have to necessarily do that because many of these points are applicable to both sides. Yeah? You will have access to an industry like small molecule discovery platforms, something very unique which has never been done or available before to identify quality compounds, quality starting points for your cutting-edge projects. May it be for later drug development or target research, that really doesn't matter at that point. Yeah?